I know a lot of people. I saw the posts, right, about wish it was like promoted better and stuff like that. Like it was marketed as an actual 3D concert thing, and I get it. But one thing's for sure though is that the Manes and the boys really just worked hard to make that a reality, right? I mean, it's no secret that, you know, we don't have a New Year's countdown. We don't have that stuff, and since the debuts, there hasn't really been any 3D thing going on. And honestly, the Manes were working on that while they were accommodating us in the studio. Like they were just balls to the wall on their laptop, and I know they had many sleepless nights just trying to get that out as best as they can. And it made me happy just knowing that our management, just really cares about us. And they do more. There's so many things that they do. I would never in my life choose to become a manager of anyone. If you're a talent under Holostars, you're not normal. You're not normal. And you have to babysit that aside from your actual work? There's no way. And, I've been seeing the complaints from people that it should have been promoted and stuff like that. But all I have to say is that if there's one thing you can get from everything that's been happening recently, it's you can I don't know if you'd noticed, but you can see there was a little turning point in Stars EN where there's some sort of moment of reinvigoration, right? There is a revival or a reinvigoration of motivation from a lot of people. That includes the talents and management and staff as well, right? And you can see a bunch of the projects that have been made recently, right? Stuff like the ASMR voice packs. Our 3Ds happening so soon-ish, right? And part of that is also, and not just that, yeah. Even if the release of the MMDs are kind of late, I know nothing about why the MMDs were released this long, right? But, with the release of the MMDs, they've also been commissioning, like, MMD shorts. They've been commissioning clips for the boys and stuff like that. And most recently is that 3D mini live, right? And it's not just that. It's not just the projects themselves, but how it's marketed and everything. There's so much effort put into many little things, and the thing you should take from here is that there's also a lot of experimentation, testing and trialing, doing little trials of how to promote stuff, how to do things. You can see that in question marks and schedules. You can see that in silhouettes, right? You can see that in silhouettes. You can see that in how the ASMR VPs were marketed with the memes. But all of this is like effort, a lot of effort and care put into trying different things to promote us, and to get people talking, to get people engaged and stuff like that, right? So these are just little efforts here and there, experimentation into figuring out different and new ways to promote us. And as confusing as it is, that's also what happened with a concert that happened. We refer to it as a mini live because you may have noticed, but it's not the same style and execution as the 3D lives you already know and love from HoloPro. And that's what we've come to expect from it. However, for this one, it was an experimental one, a different style, a different concept, and you may have noticed it's also a bit more edited than usual. But yeah, that's also another little effort into figuring out newer ways to get more 3D content in front of your faces, right? Without that 3D live thing, there would have been nothing else, right? Because we are currently at the end of the fiscal year, and there was really nothing else. There would have been nothing else. However, the managers really just eked this one out, even if it was planned from long ago and stuff like that. But they really made it a point to get this one last thing out before the end of this kind of year, so to speak. And they worked really hard for it to do it. And like I said, this whole mini live is also very experimental and very new. And while there's something to be said about you should have promoted it this way and that way, and maybe the typical drip feeding and everything like that, I don't know. In my mind, it's like this could very well be the best time to experiment with it, right? It's the best time to experiment with it is the first time, when there are no expectations, when no one expects anything. This is that time. And whether that experiment was successful or not is yet to be seen. But honestly, in my opinion, it's not the result that matters in the end. It's what we learn from it. And that's why I tweeted yesterday, how I was so happy that the Armada showed up, that keeps showing up, because this is what happened, right? A weird waiting room showed up with a grandma. And people are like, what the hell is this? What the hell is that? And a lot of people were like, okay, it might be just a voice pack announcement. I can watch that later, right? And then it started. And then what's going on? Right? What the hell is going on? And then when it clicked with people, that's why I also posted during the waiting room, that's like, it's time to lock in, call your friends and everything like that. You know? Because this is the time to lock in and actually tell your friends, actively be engaged in the moment. And tell your friends. And you did exactly that. You did exactly that. Right? There were at least almost 5,000 people in that stream, which I think might be the typical amount you'd get in like a 3D debut or something like that, right? So despite it being a random ass waiting room with a random title thumbnail, you guys showed up. I saw a lot of people on Twitter being like, I went to the bathroom just to watch Flex in the toilet, right? Because Flex was happening. Like, I went to that toilet just to watch it, please. You know? I went to this. I had to escape from my boss to watch it, right? And now, you know, to some people, that might count as, you know, you disrespected my time and stuff like that. Because we could have like set aside the day to watch it or something. And I get that. But also, lesson learned that these things get people engaged in some way. These things get people talking, right? The ASMR VPs, content-wise, are cool to begin with already. But the quirky thumbnails got people talking a bit more than usual. And now this thing is getting people talking as well, right? Whether negative or positive, I think there is something to be learned with how it was done. I don't expect it to happen again. Especially when the next product is going to be more polished. And that's also the thing, right? This is the first step in an experiment that is going to thrive based on iterations and upon iterations of things and feedback, your feedback and everything, right? So whatever your frustrations with it, just keep, you know, say it on Twitter, say it wherever you want, you know, do a little email, contact, or stuff like that. But don't forget to also say on Twitter what you liked about it, right? Oh my God, like, that's so good. The twerking, Jerry, post those screenshots, post those videos, and make sure to show your appreciation to the management and the staff and the talents, and also give your constructive criticism at the same time. Because all we really want to do is just, you know, entertain you, right? In the end, that's all we really just want to do. It's like, it's just give a good show to all of you. So yeah, that's like my little thoughts about it. Don't forget that these are all steps into making us bigger and better, right? Bigger and better and cooler in general.